everybody. Howard Jacobson here, and I'm joined in the truck by Josh Rajani. How's it going, Josh?
What's up, man?
Where are you now?
I'm in New Orleans. I have a meeting in New Orleans in just a little while. But while I'm here, I'm gonna go ahead and make a Trader Joe's run. So
Oh,
there's some things that I've learned that I like from Trader Joe's that I can't get at Whole Foods.
like what?
Um, so some of the shredded packaged stuff, the cruciferous crunch, that's one
Hmm.
of my favorite things. They have the baked tofu, teriyaki tofu, like at Whole Foods, but it's organic, so it's even better and it's cheaper. So I get a bunch of it at a time. They have prepared like dishes like slaws and stuff that don't have oils and fats added to it. They have it in little packages. You can throw that out and do your own thing with the prepared package of cut stuff, whether it's meant for a stir fry or a slaw or whatever. And the organic Honeycrisp apples, like it's not like you hope they're there. No, they're there every single time. So it's the only grocery store I know that has it like that, and they're really good. So it's a hit list of about five or six things at Whole Food. I mean at Trader Joe's that I like to snatch up when
Yeah,
I can because it's all the way over here. Yeah.
yeah. All right. And the trick there is to avoid all the other stuff that's so easy to get at
Yeah,
Trader
just
Joe's.
like any other grocery store. Well, yeah, that's the thing is this grocery store in particular, there's tons of oil laden, um, processed carbohydrate laden plant-based food. We're not really looking for those. we,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, they got some good options though. They got some good stuff.
All right. Well, unfortunately, this channel is not sponsored by Trader Joe's, so we get zero money for sharing
Uh,
that. But I wanted to talk to you about two things. One
okay.
is you made a comment maybe a week and a half ago on the Missing Chins Run Club, and I can't remember what the person posted. I think they might have been a
Mhm.
little bit of a newbie,
Yeah.
and they'd said something about like, I've made the decision, I'm committed, and now I've just got to stick with it. And you said something that I didn't understand, and I'd like to. Basically, you said, don't make the decision and stick with it. Just keep making the decision.
Just keep making the decision. It's almost like the same thing in the never binge again sort of concept. It's like of course you're gonna run up against it. You're not gonna go, okay, I'm committed to being healthy now. Sustain. Healthy living, healthy living. It doesn't really work that way. Oh, I hope I can keep it up. No, life happens, man, and you get punched in the face, and you eat a Snickers bar, or you get a milkshake, and you swore you never was gonna do that again. It doesn't mean it's over. It means it's time to make that decision again, and hopefully you ratchet your way through failure, and those failures string together into a trajectory that hopefully looks like growth over time, because what in the moment feels like a failure is really just a decision point. Am I going to keep going, or am I just going to find an easy way out again? And so for me, it has always been about making that decision repeatedly over and over and over and over, because it's going to get hard, it's going to get sticky, you're going to feel like you've hit plateaus, you're going to feel like you're confused about protein and fiber and what I should be eating and caloric density and all of these things. But just keep making the decision to actively, pragmatically move towards better every day.
Hmm. So it's almost
And
like you're
that's what I meant.
okay. So it's like the when someone just says, "Okay, I made the decision. Now I'm going to stick with it." It's like making the decision is the first step in every situation. It's not like it's not like the decision that you made is somehow in the bank accruing interest.
No, right, exactly. That I'm trying to think, and I'm thinking right off the top of my head, like on the fly. Like I've been experimenting and playing around with my blood glucose and stuff. So, and if you know me historically, I'm not a fan of needles, right? And so I've been pricking my finger just to see, just like as a little self-experimentation thing. And the first time I did it, I was like, there was so much anticipation, and it's bang, and it happens, and you're like, oh shoot. But just because I made it through that first hump of going, like, just because I made it through the hump of that, the anticipation of that first stick, it doesn't mean that I get to ride that through all the rest of the finger sticks I need to do. It just introduces me to this alien feeling. It introduces me to it doesn't make it all of a sudden a fun thing. What it does is, hey, this is something that's necessary. This is something I'm learning about as I go. It's less and less difficult. It's less and less shocking as I commit and move forward through time and keep making the decision. And that's, that is growth on like that sort of fractal level to me.
So how does that connect with the idea that you want to like create an identity? So it's like if I say, okay, I'm choosing an identity as a healthy eater or as a person who for the time being is monitoring his blood glucose, that feels to me like I made the decision once and now I just have to carry it out. How do those two play together?
No, for me, the identity part is me being a survivor. I'm identifying as a survivor, as a grinder, as a worker, as someone who's being pragmatic. And under that umbrella, all of these things are happening and bubbling along in my life. That's a decision. That is who I am. That is who I emanate. My decisions are tiny or smaller than who my identity is. I was born with my identity, and I cherish the parts of me that keep me going forward. Yeah, I don't know if I fully answered exactly what you were trying to get at.
Well, it sounds like you're saying that you save identity for really broad stroke, as opposed to my identity is not like your identity isn't even runner. Your identity is something deeper than that, and running is like a mushroom that comes out of the fungal network of identity.
Right. What I see is human authenticity, And there's things that rhyme with that identity and there's things that don't. And I decide to resonate with that identity on a daily basis, on a moment by moment basis, on a meal by meal basis. You got to break it down small sometimes when you start messing up and you're having problems and you're dealing with life,
Gotcha. Hey, I just want to say that we got a couple of comments from Harry. Oil-free pasta sauce is great. And Tim Kaufman says, "What's up, fellas?"
I have never heard of that guy.
Some stalker.
Love that guy, man.
Love them both. And I have another question for you. I just,
okay.
If I hadn't gotten you on the call, this is what I would have talked about. I just read an article about this company in Korea that offers people funerals, like the whole funeral experience, including a coffin before they die.
Wow.
Right. So that is, and like, people who go through it say that they're able to sort of better deal. Like, everybody knows, of course, we're going to die, but nobody really knows it, right? Until you have like, a brush with death or.
I know, but I got you. Like, but that's what imagination and movies and like putting together all these different fantasies, like that's weird to me. That seems very odd. That seems like an odd thing to play out.
Well, I was wondering about that.
My relationship with funerals, I have a very, I did funerals a lot when I was in high school. I worked. I did the physical work of preparing graves and digging graves and preparing funerals and putting bodies down and all of that stuff. And so I understand the parts and pieces, all the moving pieces of what actually the ritual of funeral is. Mm-hmm. And except for when it's my funerals that I'm going to, where it's the person I love, they seem ridiculous. it seems like a bit much. It seems like a lot. Like the feelings and all seem to be exploited by the mechanism of funeral, like in a way. When really, I feel like all the tears and the emotions and the hugs that we do as a family, while that's the first interaction we've had as this person has physically removed, like graduated from this planet, like sort of to do all of that with the person still there, I'm having trouble. I don't see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess, so the idea that, okay, so we are going to die, and how does that inform our life? Because like we're both great believers in truth and pragmatism and not kidding ourselves.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, like this, these people are doing this as a sort of a clarity wake up call, people who are in their 30s and 40s and are chasing the career and get to kind of slow down. But for in our culture, where most people are going to have funerals too soon, and like it's almost
It
like,
seems dramatic. It
yeah.
seems dramatic. It seems like another thing like, boy, I wish I could have one of them fake funerals, man. That would really help me. I just can't swing it though, man. If I had one of them, that could really maybe shock me out of diabetes.
Hmm.
It's just another elaborate thing. Yeah.
Right. So I guess I haven't had one, real or
Yeah.
fake,
If
real
we
or
want to
fake.
shake up, yeah, if we want to shake up funerals, I think we just start burying, I think like just bury ourselves in the dirt again. Gosh, man. Stop all of it's so crazy what we do. I learned a lot at a couple of some interesting talks in Utah when I was in Utah for that thing that we went to, that pitch meeting. And there was like this really cool concept where they put people in, basically you composted yourself at death.
Uh-huh.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful, and it was really cool, and everyone had their own little they was stuck in a little composting pod, and in so many years you would just go be dirt again. That seems so cyclical and beautiful, yet wildly out of the realm of possibility as something that could be adopted like in mass.
Right.
As natural as it seems also like, oh my God, I could never, or I would never, or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it's another way I think we keep ourselves separate from the natural world. Like if I knew that my body was going to go into my garden, like I would take better care of it.
I'm with you. Like it feels, I'm sad that like, yes, I know I'm going to die one day, and you never know. I mean, I could get in a terrible car accident, get struck by lightning, who knows? But you're going to die one day. But when that day comes, the first thing we're going to do is suck out all of the natural fluid in you, put in like petrochemicals or whatever the hell embalming fluid is, and then stick you in a steel thing that goes inside of a concrete thing to keep you separated from Mother Earth for as long as possible.
Right. Well, we've been doing it in life. Why not keep going, right?
Yeah, no,
Like
I want to be dirt again, like my dogs and all of the things that I've loved that has died. Like I want to like be part of the same dirt that Grizzly and Remy and Zeus, when that day comes, and Thalia and BJ and Baby and Peanut and Sadie and like all of our babies and Penny. I want to like that. If we want to shake up funerals, let us bury ourselves in our backyard. There we go.
right. All right. I think we got a new business.
Yeah, exactly. But no, we got to keep the industry propped up some kind of way. Some kind of way. We got to do something irrational to keep an industry propped up.
Right. Well, I mean, it's so interesting because what we're doing to ourselves in life is just as irrational. So
Yes, it is.
thinking about, okay, so I'm like, there's some forms of rhetoric in the health community that are sort of like, death is a failure, right?
Yeah.
Certainly in the medical community, like, nobody gets to die, but sort of coming to terms with the fact that we're going to die one day, for me doesn't change anything about the way I want to live. It's not like I'm eating healthy so that I can live to 80 or 90. Like that was my original thought. Like it was all about so that's. But
Right.
now it's like I do this because this is who I am. This is the identity, and these are the decisions I've made in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Anything else on your mind?
Not really, bro. Trying to get in here and get some of this Trader Joe's before I'm late to
Oh,
get
okay.
back
Okay.
uptown and meet with my man. You know who I'm meeting with. I'm
Yeah.
excited to go hang out and see what's up. So,
All right. Well, I don't want to stand between you and Trader Joe's.
all right, my friend, we have a brand new relationship and it's going well, I must say. Me
All
and
right.
Trader Joe.
All
Me and
right.
old Mr. Joe. All right.
All right. Peace.
Later, buddy. Peace, man.